I found out that my partner was cheating on me and that he had a horrible corn addiction and that it had been hidden from me for 4 years. And so when I discovered all of these things, I'm just going to share my personal story on my boundaries and what I decided to do at that point. But don't use my story as a copy paste for your situation because everybody's situation is different. I highly recommend that you get the boundary sheet in my resource center and work on that in the comfort of your own home. And if you need to, you can always call me, book a call with me, and I will help you identify and go deeper into that boundary sheet so that you feel confident and safe and how to approach your partner with it and how to lay those out. But I will share my personal experience here. So yes, I separated from my partner. I actually did not call him for 5 days. I sent proof because I didn't want to have to justify or deal with gaslighting. So I sent screenshots of everything that I had found, and I said, you cannot come home. You need to go find a place. And he did try calling me. He did apologize, but I knew he was more sorry that he got caught than for the actions he had actually done. So I spent those 5 days really evaluating my boundaries and what I wanted and what I could do and what I couldn't do, what I found acceptable and what I couldn't find acceptable. And it really boiled down to honesty. I needed full transparency and honesty at that point. I wanted to see that he went to therapy. I wanted to see that he had accountability partners. And I also wanted proof and consistency on all of those things. So I laid out my boundaries and I just basically said, if you do these things, then I will let you come back home, because he was asking for a second chance. And so he actually started to do those things. Did his family enable him? We had actually moved far away from his family at that point, and so we were in different states and very far removed. But I did feel like his family did not take a side and were not super supportive of me. And they had suggested certain things, I won't say here, that really, really hurt me, that made me feel like they were offering him a cop out of the marriage. So not necessarily that they were encouraging the affairs, but that they were not also discouraging divorce or discouraging him trying to work on things with me. So if you have family that is doing that, if you have family that is enabling the affair, that is really, really going to be tough. And that is where your boundaries are going to have to be even firmer in how you want to proceed with this. But it is very difficult when a family is enabling the addict. And ultimately, though, he has to make a choice. He has to make a choice if he's going to choose you and if you have children, or he's going to have to choose his family. And someone who is tied to a narcissistic abusive family or a codependent family or a lot of other toxic traits, it might be very difficult for them to let go and choose you. But that does need to be a boundary. You know, when you are married, it is not that you are married to your family and your wife, or married to your mother and your wife. You are married to your wife. And so if he wants to make it work with you, that needs to be a boundary.